Hiya folks, welcome back to Final Fantasy VII, and I want to show something for you today, or explain something to you that isn't really farming, but it's something you should be, you know, just have it in your mind, be aware of it now, and that is that when you're just traversing the world and just going through dungeon to dungeon or going over the world map, that you're aware of which party members are getting killing blows. And that's because, for the sake of this platinum walkthrough, we are going to need to learn the level 4 limits on pretty much every party member, and that's because there's a trophy tied to every one. Now, there isn't 4 limits for Cait Sith, but we'll talk about him in a future video. So even Aerith, who generally I will avoid getting the Great Gospel or just not go out of my way for it, because by the time you get it, you only get to make use of it for a very limited amount of time before it's taken away. But because there's a trophy tied to it, we are even going to need to get that. So what I'm going to recommend at this point, now that we've started to gain access to some really useful AoE abilities like Matra Magic and Beta from Enemy Skill, I'll just show you those there. You can check out the videos on how to get them if you don't have them already. But also just general level 2 magics as well. So Aerith, for example, has got the Ice to All combination, which is really nice. We can just be aware of who's getting killing blows in battle. I wouldn't focus too much on Cloud getting killing blows, because if there's one thing that you're sure is going to happen, it's that Cloud's limits are going to be learned naturally anyway, because he's a fixed party member, so that's just unavoidable. Not that you'd want to avoid it, but you don't need to go out your way to get them. Whereas other party members, you do have to take a more active approach with them when trying to get their limit breaks learned. And just to clarify, the second limit break for every level is learned by casting the first limit break of that level a certain number of times, usually between 6 and 12. But for the first limit break of each subsequent level, that party member needs to get so many killing blows in combat. So as you can see, Cloud is already well on his way to learning his level 3 stuff, whereas Barret is not even on to level 2. That's because Barret hasn't had as many killing blows as Cloud has had. So I'm going to recommend you focus on Aerith for the reasons that I mentioned. We do need to get her killing blow count up as high as possible so that we don't have to farm for it later on. And as you can see, I've already got her level 2 limit break learned. First level 2 limit break, which is helpful. So with those materia equipped to Aerith, again, I'm not going to recommend you farm at this point. I'm just showing you here as an example, but just as you do enter combat and what have you, just be aware of that fact, that you do want those party members to get killing blows. So for example, we can use abilities like Beta if we want to end combat very quickly. And if you want to be a little bit unscrupulous, you can go ahead and use the combat toggle there, just so you don't run out of MP. But that's not required by any stretch of the imagination. But as you can see, Aerith just got 4 killing blows there. Okay, mental note, it's difficult to jump when you're having turbo speed on, but I'm not trying to get these items yet. This is just a video that I'm making for you guys. I'll be reloading at some point. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. Just make sure you're aware of the fact now as you go through the game that you want to be focusing on, I would recommend Aerith getting killing blows, but also other party members as well, but not Cloud so much. Alright then guys, then hopefully a little bit later on when we start to get those trophies, there'll be a lot less farming involved. But thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.